it makes quite a lot of effort to make.
I'm getting on that bus. Your heart is pounding, your mind is racing, but I can't seem to speak over the traffic I hear. It's all too much. I can't trade that bus. No, I can't trade that bus. I mean, fear of public transport. You know, I could never get on a bus. Like, I was so scared. I gave up something I loved just because I couldn't get on a bus.
We were constantly moving. We were the only people that knew each other. Us three against the world. Our unlit world. Even though sometimes I felt like a little lost kid all on my own, I always knew I had them with me. My mom and my dad and the little messy thing we called family.
But I was a pain, and I was loud. I would cry and I would shout. I think I was a stressful child, the opposite of meek and mild. And so it was just so funny. It was like there were these two sides, really timid and shy, and then really loud and annoying.
When I was younger, I was kind of like the class clown. Like everyone, if they had one word to describe me, was funny. I was quite an energetic kid, but like I talked a lot. And I think the one thing that really hasn't changed is my laugh. Like I will literally laugh at anything. Like I literally laughed all day long. I've been laughing since I was born for the past 22 years.
I spent a lot of time, I suppose, with my mum and my sister. When we were younger, I used to try and copy everything my sister did. You know, older sibling, you just do what they do at all times. So, I would like, I don't know, like, if she was, there were these videos of her jumping up and down. I started jumping up and down.
We did so much when we were younger, and we always went walking, camping, and we carried that on as much as we could when Mum first got ill. So I remember those until I was a teenager. Everything just changed a little bit, but we still went to see the family. We just went on slightly different family holidays. My mom's just an angel. I love that woman to the earth and back.
My mum's my moral compass. When I was really young, I hated her. I just wanted to make her proud. She's taught me so much, and I just look up to her as a person. She always wanted to make sure we had all those views, and we listened to everybody, and we surrounded ourselves with people who we do agree with, don't agree with, people from every walk of life. So even though sometimes I felt so...
like a little lost kid and all on my own, I always knew I had someone with me who knew that. It's weird, because when I was younger, you kind of put your parents on a pedestal. Well, I did. I suppose when you're younger, you just think your parents are perfect.
My dad is very controlling, so there was a very big clash there. And if I'm really going into it, it sort of roots back from his dad, who was really, really distant.
But sometimes I think parents forget how much children listen. And if you hear something you don't want to hear, it doesn't hit you as hard as when you're 12. But children do listen more than they let on. I learned early on how to deal with that, how to walk on eggshells, how to talk the chat. You know, when it's good, but it can flip at any moment. Impossible to preempt his mood. A ticking time bomb.
simpler times when I was a child and just had to listen. I do not like showing weakness to people. But the weird thing is, the two people I could never show my weakness to is my parents. I don't think they've ever seen me cry.
But I think my dad wants me to be British, and it's fucking exhausting because I'm trying to figure this out on my own and for myself, and there's always my dad in the back going,
"You need to be British." I still am dealing with it now, wading through that. The feeling of guilt because you're not seeing one parent but actually not wanting to see them because the way they make you feel isn't nice.
I think childhood me she had so many little emotions going on in her head and just did not know how to articulate them. I was constantly just wanting to fit in, and I wanted people to like me.
There's so many things I would have done differently.
But then also, I think the things that I regret the most have shaped me the most.
And maybe, had it not been for those mistakes that I'd made, I wouldn't have improved.
Oh, fuck. I have so many regrets. So many. But I don't know if I didn't do them.
But then there's a glimmer of something that felt more real.
A glimmer of all things laid concealed, of hilltops and camping and running round in the woods, of mud pies and playgrounds and sleepovers lasting far longer than they should. So just for a moment, let me put on my rose-tinted glasses. Give me a glimpse of those really good moments. My memories of it are just completely blissful.
Innocence is magical. It's completely magical.
I mean, I used to go to the playground a lot. Swings, slides, and there's this one bit that I used to love. And it's literally it goes into the ground and it's just a little curved wall that's circular. And it's curved upwards. So I just used to love to run around that. Literally, for days. I could just run around that and it was so fun because it just gave you such a rush.
There was a path that went up. It was a path that spirals up and up and up and up. And so it was a little hill, and trees are just everywhere. This little platform that's no bigger than my bedroom, just surrounded by trees, and you can see nothing else.
Sleepovers, but you camp in the living room. The treehouse, the imaginary friend.
Trick-or-treating along that road. The holidays, the walks, feeding monkeys outside the window. I met a deer in our driveway, imagining what he would like to say.
Everything is a playground with those glasses on. The playing in the river with my best friend.
The swings and the slides and the fairy tales. People spend the rest of their lives trying to get back to there. Honestly, I had such a good childhood when I think about it. I don't even think it's me looking back at it through rose-tinted glasses because I still remember all the really tough bits. I remember looking after my mum when she couldn't walk and trying to help her walk a couple of steps and getting her dressed.
That's not what I remember about my childhood. I remember all the absolutely hilarious moments we've had since, when we dropped her. My Auntie Adjua, who passed away, who that tattoo on my side is about. In our coffee shop, there was a little sofa there. She'd sit me down there and ask about everything.
So how are you doing? She knew about all of my girlfriends. She would just listen and tell me it's okay to feel. This boy's become a good man 'cause of coffee talks and hugs that help me heal. She used to say whenever something went wrong, she would say,
You don't worry. You don't worry. She'll be with me eternally.
If I saw little me, I would want to give myself a big hug. Yeah, straight away. And I feel like a hug gets you talking.
when someone hugs you and you feel seen.
And then you start to speak, and then people listen.
And
then
then
I
I'd promise. I promise your dreams don't just stay your dreams and you've made it your job.
I promise the world.
I promise you don't need to know who you are just yet. It will come.
I would tell myself it's gonna get really shit, but it's gonna get better.
I promise it's actually going to be okay. It's going to be really tough, but you will get to a place where you're surrounded by people that you just love to pieces and friends that just get you.
I would promise him that I will do right by him. I will do right by
I
you.
promise you'll get to finally be yourself in the not too distant future.
Like that little fire. It comes from somewhere different in everybody.
You don't worry. You don't worry. I'll be with you eternally. You don't worry. You don't worry. Soon, someday, you'll find who you want to be. Breathe it in now. Take it in. The mud pie in your hands. You're on that bus and you're going places for all of us. You don't worry. You don't worry. This boy's become a good man. This girl's a little stronger, you see.
Keep your head up, little one. Keep those words in your head and don't make such a fuss.